I'll do some retweets and whatnot.
Yo, welcome everybody to episode 14 of the Adoption Pod. I feels like, I don't know, it's only been a week, but it feels like forever because like last week it was kind of the disaster because I had to get my computer all rebooted and everything, and it was just a technical difficulty nightmare. But I'm pretty sure everything's working. All the audio is working. I'm not muted for half the show.
You're sure?
Yeah. I'm literally looking at it right now, and everything looks Gucci. So we're all good.
Can you tell us a little bit about why you're at McDonald's while I'm retweeting this?
Well, I'm just outside McDonald's here because after the podcast, I'm gonna go apply for a job because the markets look like garbage. The Valhalla's canceled, and we'll get into it later in the charts. But I'm about to go and myself hopefully get a job. It's tough in these markets. The job market's not so good. AI is gonna even make the burgers for us soon.
It's a tough market to be in. Well, at least we have that to fill. I read today though that Amazon is replacing like 60,000 US workers with robots.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. They've already replaced a bunch with the robots.
So the moments we've all been fearing and everyone's like, let's just pretend that day's not really coming, I feel like is pretty freaking close to being here.
The next 5 years is going to be wild. And, we'll talk about this maybe with our guest, with Mike from Consensus.
Metamask.
When you said Consensus, I'm like, the conference?
Well, I think they sponsor the conference, right?
That's awesome. I love it. Let's bring him on. Let's have a conversation with him. Hello, how are you?
There he is.
Oh, dude, I'm so jealous of your palm trees in the background.
So you're reporting live from Ape Fest.
I'm jealous of the palm trees.
Ape Fest in Vegas. We're at the Aloe Villa right now, just chilling.
Oh my god!
Got a bunch of apes over there chilling. Yeah. So I'm hopping on because I promised I would be on, and super excited to break it down before you guys break down the charts. So
break down the charts. Yeah, super excited to have you. I have that shirt too. It's adorable. For those who don't know, Michael K, probably needs no intro, but he has had a successful exit at Wallet Guard, and he now works at Metamask Consensus. The company was bought out by them, and now he just does the coolest shit in the world, like goes to Ape Fest and reports live and does podcasts. So I met Michael a couple years ago at my first Art Basel. And I was on this spiritual journey, man. He probably thought I was a crazy person, and he gave me some really good advice stuff. But he told me this story, so I asked him if before he came on the show, I was like, "Do you mind telling that story because it's so prescient to the times and the crypto spirit and why you've been so successful in the space." So as your intro, as a part of it, can you tell that story?
Yeah, definitely. So I think like everybody needs like a catalyst at some point in life to be able to like realize what they're capable of and what's possible and where they want to be. And I think a lot of kids, unfortunately, nowadays, they don't get that. But thankfully, I had that at a very young age. So I was born in Armenia. And when my family and I moved to the United States, we came here with no money, we didn't know English, and we had to start from scratch. And eventually, I obviously um, became a citizen and everything like that. And it was great to have citizenship, and it was also great to be able to come to this country and actually like start from nothing and create a business and do all this stuff. So the catalyst for me was at a young age. My mom, she was a single mother working very hard, and she said that she wanted to take me to a vacation. And like we didn't go on vacations often, but she was like, it's all inclusive, like it's down in Florida and Fort Lauderdale, and it's going to be a great time. And so we went on the plane, we got there, and when we got there, the hotel was just like terrible. Like my mom like felt so bad, and I felt bad because she spent her hard-earned money, to show me a good time and like go on vacation and take a break. And this is like when I was like around 14 years old, and I felt bad, and that they switched our rooms multiple times because there was always issues with every room in the hotel. And uh, my mom had enough, and she was like, we're leaving. I'm going to call a taxi. This was before Ubers that we're also familiar with, and
Yeah, you're really
so we
dating
called up a
yourself there,
taxi.
Michael.
I am. I'm old. I'm so old.
I'm
Um,
so old.
and the taxi came up, and my mom said, take us to the nicest hotel that you know of. So the taxi driver took us and pulled us up to a spot called St. Regis, and it was like waterfalls and like marble floors, and a butler comes out and like opens the taxi door for you and walk in there, you're handed a fresh water. And it was like a completely different experience, like being at St. Regis at the time and just like seeing like what life is, right? Like what life could be like. And that night, my mom, she looked at me and she said, if you work hard, you can have this every day of your life. And that to me was like a click, right? It was like as soon as we got back home, I went heavier on my website development that I was doing, fixing computers. I started up my first LLC at 16 years old. Um, Started up my first physical location where I was doing computer services and website development in Nyack at 20, and then got acquired at 23 by a much larger IT company, and became CEO of that IT company for 8 years, and helped scale that to tens of thousands of residential customers and hundreds of business contracts. And I've been in cybersecurity and IT my whole life, so it was perfect for me. But eventually, I exited that company and went into Web3, and met the guys at WalletGuard on the Twitter space, and everything else is history. But yeah, that's kind of like a little bit of an origin story, and how my
Yeah.
mom like really affected me in the most way possible.
Yeah, you're rugging a little bit at the end there, but I know like Mike's big thing is like helping the average,
Yeah.
person. Mike, you tell it, but it's like I knew you guys would resonate because
Oh yeah. So for me, like everything changed when I had my daughter. So like it was just like, you're a kid, you're in 20s, you're smoking dope every day, you're just like living with whatever, right? And then you get married, you have a kid, and then it's like now I gotta start thinking for the future. And I've always been like this person that like is always like does the opposite. Like I was born and raised Roman Catholic religion, but like I could never get behind it because I felt like everyone's doing the same thing. I'm looking at it from the outside. So and traditional investing never made sense to me. Like I'm a licensed mechanic, I still work full time. So my whole thing is like I just want to like bring people along to my journey of wealth creation and like becoming wealthy. And I'm just a grease monkey, and it's just really how much time and energy you put into it. And education is honestly the biggest thing. That's why the whole adoption pod is like bringing mass adoption, talking to people from all over the space, and like educating people of in crypto about all the companies, all the things that exist in crypto, and how to get people in. And that's me, man. I'm just a normal 9 to 5 worker trying to retire my bloodline here.
yeah. But these are the people I love, and I try to bring them together, right? Like the people who are here for the right reasons and have those stories about leveling, whatever. So, Michael, I know we want to get you in and out. So I do have a couple questions. I'm sure Mike has some too. So I met you. You were already pretty big, I think, in the space in 2021 when I got here. So at first I looked up to you like, oh God, that's a celebrity. And when I met you at the Penguin part, I was just like, oh my God. And then
you're boosting me. You're boosting me right now. Like,
I'm
thank
just
you.
glazing
Appreciate
you, dude.
that.
No, it's cool because like you were one of the early people that stood out to me in the space, like docs, like I was early doc, and just like there were signals, right? And people that you kind of attached to, and Ashley Decan was one of them for me, just a few people that I looked up to at the space. So when you knew who I was, I mean, that was, and just the story that you just shared at the beginning of the space, like that was a transformational moment for me in my career. And what I really took from that is it was, something you said. And I was like, God, I'm having this crazy spiritual journey. I'm trying to explain it to you. He said, stop trying to explain it to people. Stop seeking external validation for the experience you are having. Just like accept it and own it. So share a little bit of that wisdom. Where did that come from? Like, are you Gandhi or?
No, I guess, I mean, it's business. Like you don't learn these things instantly, right? Like it takes time with networking, with sales. Like you got to have the ability to do multiple things. You can't be somebody that just, in my opinion, if you want to like scale and you want to be able to adapt as to all the changes that happen in all these industries nowadays, because the internet's so connected to everything, you got to be able to do more than just a single task, right? You got to be able to oversee sales, oversee yeah, you got to be a Swiss Army knife, right? Like you got to be able to give your input so that everything moves in the direction that if you're a business owner, you want it to go. So, I always wanted to work for myself, and I did that from a very young age. I didn't want to be an employee or work for anybody else. And I think that's like a good way to start off, because then you can tap into all these different elements of a business, because you need to learn like how to manage the books, how to put together a site, how to market, how to show up to events and create a business card and hand it out. I'm talking about more Web 2 stuff in that scenario, but now it's with Web 3, you're in spaces, you're showing face at networking events. People hear your voice. There's, you're on podcasts. These are all important elements, I think, in Web 3 specifically. And we see that with what's been happening on the timeline, right? Like, there's a lot of people that are in the space with us that are scaling very quickly, and they're getting deals, from larger companies to sponsor their streams. And, just what happened with Polymarket and Thread Guy, like congratulations to him. Like there's all these different wins that people are seeing. And you have to realize like it takes hard work. It takes unlimited hours, unlimited time, and you actually wanting to execute, right? Like there's a difference between talking, and then there's a difference between like just getting it done. And a lot of people unfortunately just talk, and you see them a year later, 2 years later, they're just still talking. So that's what I tried to bring to you. I said, you have this pitch, right? And you just need to make it straightforward, right? Like just give it to me in 2 sentences. Make it so that you're summing it up and it's hard hitting. And when you did that, it was a completely different reaction. And you told me the success that you had after the fact, and back to the talking and stuff. Like I just met you at that point, right? Like I didn't even know you. So it was great for you to be able to share information with me and to get my input on it, as you've seen me in the space. And I really appreciate that. Like you're a legend. What are you what are you calling me a legend for? You're the legend. Let's fucking go.
You started like you're the OG of legends. So so I'm in AA. I'm really transparent about that. Been in the program for like 8 years, and they always say stick with the winners, right? So I kind of applied the same philosophy to the space. Like people get reputations very quickly, right? And it's not really that hard if you're not just putting the blinders on, and saying, well, I'm just going to ignore that this stuff is happening around me because I want to make money. Like I do horrible trading. I do, I am not, but I'm just not going to be an insider. That's not what I came here for. I didn't, building wealth. Yeah, that's a great side effect. But for me, this is like about changing the world. And like there's so many deeper reasons that we don't need to get into today. But yeah, so I want to move on from this. Tell me about what it was like exiting Wallet Guard to MetaMask. I remember when you told me that news, I had just started hearing about Wallet Guard and you were pushing it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh yeah, we're just getting acquired by MetaMask. Like it was no big deal. And I was just like, what the man?
That's amazing.
No, I think it was a really big deal, and we couldn't have done it without like the support from the community and people actually using Wallet Guard and talking about, how we helped save them. And, that was the thing. Like we created something that was free, that was open source, that actually helped people. And it felt good. It felt good the whole time having a team of 5 that all had the same mindset, the same goals, like down to the point where we all moved in, as you know, into one hacker house for a year and a half and just hyper scaled Wallet Guard. And it was like just an amazing time, to be able to build a real product and then get acquired by like one of the largest companies and one of the largest wallets. Like it was literally like a dream, right? Like sometimes I feel like it's still a dream
now, because you wanted to be a business owner and here you are now an employee at what I would consider a blue chip crypto company.
Yeah, I think it's a little different with like the term employee when it comes to Web3, because there are, like I said, like multiple things that you have to be able to delegate and take care of. So like all the hundreds of people that are at Consensus and MetaMask and Linea, like everything that's under the Consensus umbrella, and obviously like now Wallet Guard and Web3 Auth and all these acquisitions that we've done, everyone's like head down and like firing in all cylinders. I feel like we're not just employees to each other. Everyone's building, and we're building as quickly as we can. And we're also trying to make sure that like privacy and security are at the forefront, which is sometimes why we might move slower than other wallets, but it's always in favor of the user's privacy and security, as you know.
Absolutely.
Which is hugely important. I mean, you guys are a much bigger, like you take risks maybe a little bit when you're a newer business, but you're not at a point where that would be smart, right? Mike, I know you have some questions for him too, so let me.
Yeah. Well, I was my mic like going crazy right now? No, we're good.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like it was spiking up.
McDonald's, which is weird. But your mic's fine.
Might have to get a job here pretty soon. It's been kind of
crazy.
Are
you at McDonald's, bro? What are you doing?
Yeah, this market is this market hasn't been so good, so I might have to get a job here. So I was gonna say, so someone like me working 9 to 5, how would you recommend for someone that wants to get in and work full time in the space and kind of get to a point where you're at or where Mick's at? Because like I struggle with this too. Like I work full time, parent. I always try to be as present with my family as I can, and then content creation and all this on the side. It's there's only so many hours in a day, of course, right? And then I gotta educate yourself, like you were saying. You learn how to get your computer building and doing it with IT and getting the basis of the knowledge to be able to we're doing. What would you recommend for people like me working 9 to 5 to maybe level up their life and maybe work, if they want to work full time in crypto, how to do something like
that? Well, let me ask your question with a question. So, do you feel that you are fulfilled with yourself working that 9 to 5?
God, no.
Okay, so you've already gone past the first step, right? Which is saying that, hey, this is not the ultimate win for me, right? Like you got to find what you fucking love, right? And like, I'm not going to sit here and be all proper and like fucking, I'm going to tell you straight up from the heart, like you got to find what you love in whatever industry that it is and execute 1,000%. Or if you are not willing to do that, then you have to be comfortable where you are, right? Like I can't come and force you to do these things. It's a matter of taking it in and actually executing. And I think like a very small percentage of people can do that. And I'm not saying that's not you. I feel like if you're already here and you're tapping into Web3, you're already in the mindset of something that you can't go back to Web2 mentality about, right? Like I feel like people that are actually in the space and know what crypto is, know what blockchain is, like what's possible in the space and what you could build out, you could never mentally go back to a Web2 You know what I'm
I
saying?
can totally talk to Web 2 people. I did a LinkedIn live with X Spaces with Twitter advertising last week, and I kept saying Web 2 and Web 3, and everyone's like, "What's Web 2 and Web 3?" Like they still didn't know.
I hate
like,
this whole distinguish.
Read, write, own. You know, like that's the simplest way I can put it. But
I hate the tribalization of like talking Web 2 to Web 3 because like I feel like when you try to talk to people like normal people about Web 3 and like what is this, and they glaze over, and people are so like unreceptive to learning anything new because they're so like in their comfort zone that anything that pulls them slightly out of it is like I can't handle this. They don't even know how to react.
People have reality tunnels, and it's very hard to disrupt them.
This is why you have to meet people where they're at, just like I did with your question prior, right? So when I choose to onboard or talk about crypto or blockchain with somebody, I don't talk about crypto or blockchain. I talk about things that they're doing on a daily basis that they never realized there's another way to do it that's a lot more efficient, that's decentralized in nature. You know, obviously those terms are not brought up in the conversation, but what I do bring up is, for example, going to a restaurant and paying a bill. So that's something that everybody does. And if you're starting the conversation off with, okay, you know, when you go to a restaurant to pay a bill and they're already not receptive to that, then it's not even worth it to continue. So like you immediately know that person's just like not going to have a conversation with you. So there's all these like steps, right, that you automatically take it. So you're asking a debit card made by a company like Visa or MasterCard, American Express, right?
I'm waiting
then
for my
they're
Metamask
taking a piece of the
mail.
transaction. Your Metamask card, if you ordered it, it's coming, I promise.
Okay.
But I can't comment on that anymore. All right, I'm just kidding.
Sorry. So you're really not gonna like my next question.
No. So you know, you have a debit card, a credit card. They take a percentage of the transaction, not from you, but from the merchant that you're transacting with, right? That's a burden to a business, which is credit card fees that they have to cover. So for you, it's convenience. For you, it's convenience. So you don't think about this, right? So you have a debit card, credit card, MasterCard, Visa, Amex, whatever. Your money is sitting inside of a bank like Chase or Bank of America, where your money's not really your money. They're making tons of money on your money. They're not giving you anything for it. And they also print it by the trillions, but that's a whole nother conversation. So that's another institution, which is the banks. Then you have the merchant service provider, which is where they're swiping the card through, which is taking a piece of the transaction, which is another institution. Then you have the point of sale system, which is all the equipment that they're leasing and using. So they're also taking a piece of each transaction at the bottom line. Then there's the wait times and the ramps in between the payments providers and also the banks. So this is why sometimes it takes a few days for payments to settle. So there's wait times in between. And then there's also the business's bank, where it might be a different bank than your bank. So think about that. Like, that's what you do every day.
Yeah.
And you never question it. Right?
People don't even know what's happening.
Like,
that's the thing. A lot like people know that there's credit card
anywhere
fees
from 4 to 7% at the end of the month. What's that?
I would say people don't know that this is all happening. When it comes to, everyone knows there's credit card fees, but like all the intricacies that you just mentioned, like all the other layers, people have no idea that's even happening.
Well, look, like we're talking about this could apply to anything, right? Like you could say, oh, like you go to the hospital, you go to the dentist, you go to the doctor, you go to any medical institution. How many times have you given away your own information? Your name, your allergies, your medical history, your social security number, your home address, your credit card for the payment. Like, you are literally exposing your data to all these institutions that have either been compromised, are going to be compromised, or are actively compromised right now, and they don't even know it. And this is the element that is removed when you talk about what blockchain and crypto can do to the medical industry, not just the financial industry, but the medical industry. Imagine that you have a token that holds all your medical information, that holds your blood type and everything about you, but it doesn't have to reveal everything about where you live and your first and last name and all these personal details. that's the future, logically, of how this information will be handled. This way, medical institutions no longer need centralized servers, massive IT teams, data centers, constant security issues. You're removing the human element from the equation because now you're leveraging all of this bureaucratic nonsense and weight on the industry into something that's decentralized and immutable, that is truly owned by someone in the most privacy preserving way possible. And if that's a much deeper part of the conversation that you eventually get to, but you just have to wake people up to what they're doing right now and how they're getting fucked from every angle, and they don't even realize it. That's like really what it comes down to, because as you know, as you both know, no, well, listen, like, as you both know, the main way that people get onboarded into crypto is their friend or family member says, yo, we're going to 100x, we're going to 1000x, we're going to make a ton of money. You don't know what crypto is then. I bet you the people that talk about that don't even know what a blockchain explorer is. Right? Like, they're just dumping money into random coins. They're telling their friends and family members to buy a bunch of nonsense, and their friends and family are ending up with a bag of shit that they can't sell, that they don't like, that they don't understand. Of course you're going to say crypto's a scam, I'm never touching. It's all about education. Sorry for the rant. I'm like,
oh no,
going off.
I love it.
I'm with you on that.
I have 2 points after this, and one of them is you're like one of the best and most motivational crypto speakers ever. I'm just glazing you tonight, but you're on fire. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are literally glazing.
It's so funny because I have like my parents, people in my family, people I've talked to about crypto, and they complain about, we have just normal conversations, and everybody loves the trauma bond about complaining about taxes, that, blah blah blah. And it's so funny because I'm thinking to myself, I'm listening to these people talk about this stuff, and I'm like, you're a Bitcoiner, you're a crypto guy, you're a crypto person. Like, you don't know it, but like, all the things you're complaining about, the solution is here. But like, you just don't realize it yet. And it's just like, if you just got to be open-minded to like try something new, and then you might be able to get down that rabbit hole. It's like, oh shit, this is the solution, right?
No, definitely. I mean, one quick counterpoint to that. I'm happy that I say this all the time, I'm happy that mass adoption did not happen very quickly, because if we had 10 times the amount of people here in the space, and we had all these issues still occurring, like, it would be detrimental to the bottom line of like what people are actually investing and what they think about the space. Now, and I think that it's good that mass adoption is taking an extended period of time, because it gives time for developers and designers to build out these UI and UX layers to make things user-friendly, to make things frictionless, so that Web3 becomes as easy to use as an ATM machine. And even if you do mess up, you can't mess up, right? That's the ultimate goal. So this is good in the long scheme of how it's going to happen, because originally it was decentralize everything, no middlemen whatsoever, like, we're all DeFi maxis. But then I realized that there has to be, at least for now, elements of centralization in order to get to mass adoption, in order to stop like eventually after decades using what we're exactly.
Exactly. So they can learn to ride a bike with 2 wheels.
Especially with institutions,
it is getting dark there. I know you're probably like waiting to go have the time of your life, and I have so much FOMO, and I hope you guys have so much fun. I saw like all the headliners at the show. Apes are doing a big, like, what?
Apes know where it's
at. Yeah, it's gonna be.
I ask you, what do you are the apes gonna come back? Like, how do you feel? Like, is there a moment for them still to rise again and capture the
I don't think it's a matter of like coming back. I think it's a matter of just like, we're all building, everyone's doing something. I think what's going to be announced over the next few days, hopefully what I'm thinking is going to be very bullish. And for me, it's always been about, again, not the amount of money that I'm putting in, but the concept of what I'm acquiring. And, I didn't buy Pudgy Penguins and Bored Apes and all these other things knowing that they were going to turn into what they are today. I bought them because like, I vibed with wanting to make it my PFP, and it was at the time for me cost effective. Like, these are all elements that contribute,
network, right? Like, it's like your tribe, how you kind of find, and
community.
Exactly.
Well, go have fun, dude. Have the time of your life. Post lots of pictures, make us all super jealous, and I'm sure I'll see you at Art Basel again this year. I think
No, really appreciate you. I wish I had more time because like we could go on forever, right?
I know.
I
We'll do it
really
again
appreciate you
sometime in the
guys
future when
letting
we
me
have
up here and speaking. Like, yeah, definitely. Sorry, my service out here is like complete trash. I apologize.
It happens.
But really appreciate you guys letting me up here to speak, and definitely looking forward. Are you going to Art Basel? Either of you going to Art Basel?
Yeah,
That's what I was just saying.
It's gonna be my first one.
See you at Art Basel.
Let's go. Let's go. See you guys at Art Basel. That's amazing.
Yeah,
looking forward to it. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, michaelk.eth on Twitter. michaelkdcl is the username. My DMs are open. I do cybersecurity. I answer questions so that people could stay safe. I never charged anything for good information. I don't token gate anything. I don't tell you to buy anything.
Unrelated.
Sorry?
Do you advise on the side?
Do I advise on the side?
Yeah.
I mean, I give like input if you need it,
an advisor role. Would you be open to one?
There is one company that I'm doing advisory for. It hasn't been publicly announced yet, but
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
I'm not. It's not like the doors are open and I have all the time in the world. I don't have a lot of time, and I'm dedicating yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. Dude, have fun. I'll talk to you soon, and we'll see you soon. And tell everybody hello.
Take care, brother.
Nobody die.
Amazing. Thank you, guys. Thanks for letting me rant. Appreciate you.
Anytime, dude.
All right. That was awesome. What a good guy.
Isn't he amazing? Like, I wish we did have the whole hour, and this just kind of worked out weird. He decided to travel to 8Fest a couple days early. And so he's like, well, I'm going to be at the thing. And I was like, we did one with Eric in a taxi. So let's do it.
Yeah, right. That's awesome.
That's the thing of our show. People are just never home when we're actually filming it. And I think that's
the cool thing about crypto. Like, you're working from anywhere. Like, you can be anywhere in the world. That's my dream, honestly, is like, I want to be able to work from a laptop or whatever, so I can just be at home with my family.
And less demarcation between personal and professional. Like, we weren't born and originally like we have careers and we go to work and then we come home and we had responsibilities within a household and like did things, but we're largely, society has changed a lot, and there's a lot of potential for it to change. I think back to some of the good things about the past, obviously not everything, and there's smarter ways to do it, but like, they felt like a little more wholesome times.
Yeah, you know what? There's some magic to the 90s, man. I'll tell you. Even McDonald's behind me over here. Remember, they used to
I'm not old enough to vaguely familiar.
They used to have remember the McDonald's toys were way better than they are now. They're garbage now. I remember like VHS movies.
Outside trains or whatever, and sometimes Ronald McDonald was there.
Well, you know what's funny? You say that. I was talking to my wife about this. I'm like, there's no, like, you look at like McDonald's and the branding, Ronald McDonald is gone. Hamburger, they're all gone. They're just
creepy.
They're just using,
by today's standards, they're creepy. Does anyone want Ronald McDonald coming up and giving their kid a hug? I don't.
When I went to Portugal, I was in a McDonald's with my family, and you go walk in and it still has that kid vibe. It has Ronald McDonald and the crew on the wall with a tree, like a kid's tree. Like, it was the colors in that restaurant.
From the past.
Well, yeah, well, not kind of like it didn't look like the one in the 90s, but the color scheme was still very kid friendly, bright, vivid colors. Now it's all dark, cold, and gray, and it's I don't like it. I really don't like it. It's not the same. It doesn't feel the same. It just feels heartless.
They want to get rid of all the creativity, so we just accept like.
But everything's like that. McDonald's, Tim Hortons here looks like that. Wendy's all the restaurants. They all have this. I swear, it's like the same engineer making the same. Like businesses, like here, but like
it probably is. They're trying to build. They're building the future they want, which is a boring. Everybody get in line at McDonald's, get your points rationed, and
this is why when AI takes over, it's going to be more of that, and that's why human creativity is going to be so valuable.
Yeah,
that people don't even realize. So start thinking like creative ways to even problem solve. AI won't be able to do. Only think logically. They're not going to be able to do creative problem solving. It's just going to be a rotation, a shift in what we do.
That's fair. And I love it. I'm living it. And I can't wait till you're living it too, because it's just, it's a leap of faith, right? Like when I did it, I was lucky. I probably, if I had a Web 2 career and I was already a single mom and like it would have been much harder to take that much risk. But, when I exited my company with my ex and I had already started building some things online, I was just like, I'm going to go all in here and try it. And it worked, right? Like, so I kind of had that moment where it was like, crossing it, like if you read Joseph Campbell, The Hero's Journey, like you can go or you can turn back, and go the safe way. And I was like, F it,
honestly,
YOLO, because I believed in myself, and it's so,
I really,
that's such an important part of it.
I really admire you for that, because like that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, I could leave my job and try this full time, but I have a really, really good job. And that's the crux, because they pay you just enough
and benefits and like all the
Oh, the benefits, like for me, I don't even care about that. Like
they would take you back in a second, Mike.
Not my job is tough because you have
that one, but
you have to know somebody. Well, mechanic, yes.
AI proof. They're going to be, and it's not like, I think like that's where the self-belief comes in, that like, okay, I'm going to build up a cushion. I'm going to try this for 3 months. And then I'm going to look at where I'm at and decide if I need to start looking back in web, just give yourself some parameters that give it structure.
That's kind of where I'm
safer.
at right now. I'm building that capital to be able to give it a shot. I think next bull run, one where I really have a chance to do that. I believe next bull run I'll be a multimillionaire. That's my game plan.
Can you give me some money when you are? Because I'm still gonna be poor.
I'm gonna try my best, but based on the capital I've already taken out of this market, if we do another 5x, we're good. So
okay, well, good.
So I'm just trying to do it. But like for me, like I thought about it because right now, me and my wife we have no debt. Like we do really good with our finances. I married a really amazing woman. She's a big spender, so we've been able to just like plow money.
Where did you find those?
We've been able to plow money into investing. So like, this is my mental argument. It's like I can leave and try it full time, or I can continue doing what I'm doing, and I know unfortunately how much I'm going to be put away will lead me to that financial freedom. So it's like, do I just bite it for 4 years, or do I try now? I have confidence in myself.
A little tougher.
Yeah, so like,
but there are variables. You don't know that for sure in 4 years it'll be different. Why save for tomorrow what you can do today? What if the next cycle, what if things are so unpredictable? What if the world collapses next time, Mike?
You're absolutely right. But as long as they're printing money, I have nothing to worry about. Until that changes, then I'll be worried.
That's fair. That's fair.
that's my base case.
In the world to know that despite the low ranking, the low viewership on X tonight, I don't know why X has been slow all day today, but we're the highest ranked show on crypto Twitter X according to the people I follow. So that's huge breaking news.
I feel like we get more views after the fact, because I think a lot of people that watch our show are sleeping right now.
Yeah. And we're the Wynn show. James Wynn is hosting. He has more listeners, but it's a space. So we still show up above him. So I'm going to count that as a win.
Blemissimo. All right. Let's let's get into some charts, because
let's look at some charts. Yeah, because I do have to go to bed at a reasonable hour, so I'm gonna call it at 10 o'clock tonight. Mike, my life has turned into like I'm like doing work while I'm at meetings, and like I need to catch up on some sleep, man. And I have a call with Jose after this too. We have a lot to catch up on.
Maybe I can go full time. I'll be your personal.
God, that's what I need. Okay, after.
Would you like a monster? I'll just bring your monster.
DGE, I might be looking for an executive assistant.
I'll do it.
I've been telling Coop that once we scale and like raise, that I can't say this on. Like I'm gonna try to make you come be my boss. Don't ever tell Avax that. It's my dream to work for Coop someday. So.
Okay, that would be awesome. Apparently everywhere I've seen him. All over the timeline, even in other people's pictures. It's amazing.
Literally everywhere. Well, he does have a really big fan. Studo more. Okay, what do we got in the charts? What happened today, Mike?
Okay. Dude, this is the mood. Like every time we're back, we're not back. We're back, we're not back. It's this market has been like destroying me emotionally. It's fucking terrible. So we had that big dip, right? We went down to back to the starting the bigger. So we're on the daily. So we had this pull back like crazy. I missed it. I was driving home from work. I literally the first time I had like a lot of money aside, and of course it happened when I got to work or when I was driving home from work. It would have been nice.
Like when I was trying to sell my GameStop when it was $500,000 and I was in a dentist chair and then they froze the trading and I was like, stop drilling in my mouth, sir. This is an emergency.
I was talking to somebody that threw $100,000 at AVAX and $9.50 right back up to 20. Clean 250K, just like that. Imagine.
Why don't these things happen to me?
I know. That's what I said.
They do. I get lucky a lot. I'm not even going to say that because I do get lucky a lot, but I'm still, you got to respect other people's pump. That's like the secret to getting your own pump. Don't be a hater. When
honestly, I was so happy for him, bro. You go, man. That was awesome.
Yes, so that is the like people are always like making fun of like mindset abundance people, but it's like when you cheer on other people for their wins, you're lining yourself up to be a winner. When you're fudding them or being negative or whatever, like you're a loser. Like that's a loser mentality. So don't be surprised when you lose.
You know? I think about this because sometimes like, you know, everybody has it. You get to a funk. I go through waves of feeling good, depression.
Like last week when I didn't even want to come onto the space when we got stood up.
Yeah, like I'm
everybody totally goes, over it, by the way.
Everybody goes through it. And you know what? I think to myself, sometimes like when I'm overwhelmed, overstimulated, I'll drive home from work, no music, raw dog the drive. Just me alone with my thoughts. And I'm like,
what is that like? That sounds absolutely horrible.
Honestly, sometimes I just need to turn off like everything out and just listen, be in silence. It's just how I do. That's me. And for me, like I think about like, man, I fucking love people. I love people. I love the humankind. I love everything about like we're beautiful people. So that's why I love when I see friends winning.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, some bad things have happened to some of my friends, and literally my heart sinks like it happened to me.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like
you're real, like you're one of the, like, I don't know, you're just one of the salts of the earth or a star seed or whatever. Like the people that care about humanity, and it doesn't have to be like above yourself. It's about creating a better reality for everyone, and that includes yourself, right?
That's like, why I got into content creation.
Stuff that we need to get past in this space.
Like I could have just invested my money quietly, would have known who I was. All of a sudden, down the road, I'm a millionaire or whatever. But I decided to make content about it and talk about my story, and because somebody out there, somebody's going to like resonate with it. Shit, like I'm in the same situation, and I would love, for me, like the ultimate like goal would be like, hey man, I listened to you, I did it, I got my life in order, I fucking became a millionaire.
Yeah.
That's better than me becoming rich. Like that would make me so good.
It really is. It's like, you know, like one of my favorite quotes is like something, you know, you plant seeds, like the people who plant seeds that they'll never sit under the shade of the tree kind of thing, you know, like those are just, and they always end up being healthy and well taken, you know, they have beautiful, happy lives. And like, we've gotten so far away from the point. And it's funny because most of us working in crypto have some element of this altruistic, spiritual kind of, you know, there's a lot of us drawn to this industry, but it's because it's taking financial manipulation out of the hands of people, and money is what corrupts people. So if we can automate this and it can be provably fair, the world, like all of these problems that we're throwing billions of dollars at, it would naturally heal because everybody wouldn't be freaking mad at each other. They'd be like content with their lives. And when we're not happy with ourselves, like hurting people hurt people. And obviously I have no idea statistic, but a lot of people in the world are hurting. Like a majority probably are. So why aren't we trying to like help people not hurt and create systems that like are fair. Like, and I know why, right? Like, we go off on a conspiracy theory talk, but that's it. So like Michael said, awakening people to like how they just hide all of these layers of just extraction from you. Like taking your time, little transaction by every time you swipe your card, a little bit of your life is gone.
A lot of these businesses rely on people's ignorance because they don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, hey, we can.
I wouldn't call it ignorance though, because it's propaganda. Most people want to believe the government is good. I mean, I see that changing over the last few years, but up until I was maybe 25, right? Like I was proud to be an American at one point in my life, you know? It was cool. Like
in the grand scheme of things, because we're kind of in the same boat here. Blah, blah, blah. Fast. But you know, it's like, you know what? Like, it's so easy to go down that negative line. Because like when I look at the grand scheme of things and I equate Canada to like every other country out there, it's still a pretty good place. Like, we have our problems, but like, you know, I get to go to sleep and not have to worry about mom off over my head or next meals come from. Right. So like it sucks that it's declined, because I'll definitely agree that, you know, North America has declined, but still in the grand scheme of things,
fault though. Do we agree on that at least?
I don't know. I don't even know whose fault it is at this point.
I can't even say that with a straight face, Mike.
It's the system's
we take
fault.
Full responsibility.
You know what? A lot. Fine, we can go down this road, but like we're maybe seeing the end of capitalism right now.
Yeah.
Because with AI
and like this government structure too.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and you know, we don't really have free market. Like, right? Like capitalism is good if you have true free markets, and we did back in the day, but we don't anymore because it's very manipulated, right? Even, you know, we don't even have long bear markets anymore.
Information that fast in the past, right? So like, you know, funny story that I know from AA is the guy who founded it. His job as a stockbroker was to go from business to business of these different companies that the funds were considering investing in, and he would go to the factory and do due diligence and meet they were found, you know, the owners, and like talk to employees, and they would come back with reports. So like information moved very slowly, and it was still insidery, right? But it wasn't on such a mass scale. Like you can, like GameStop wouldn't have happened back then. It couldn't have, because
nobody would
information spread that fast.
Absolutely.
But we're in an age where, you know,
times have changed.
Everything needs to change because information moves at a speed. We're unprepared for every potential scenario that can happen at the speeds we're moving today.
All right. I know.
God, have I done enough like doomsday talking?
Well, here, let me give you some more. All right, so let's look at this Bitcoin chart.
Yeah, let's look at the charts.
Okay, so I have multiple ways. I made a video not too long ago. If you guys want, go check it out on my channel. We have to prepare ourselves for multiple, because we don't know where this market's going to go, and we're getting to a point where like the bull market is usually, I believe it's like 500 days. We're already past that at this point. We're at a point where it hasn't happened to be. Again, do we have an extended bull market? Very possible. Like there's multiple scenarios. So what I have here is the weekly. I've been staring at this bloody chart for about weeks now, and I noticed something here. So if you go back all the way to basically January 2023, went up on the RSI, and we never went below, or if we did go below, just barely, and then the line. So I'm like, okay, this is the trend, right? So now we can identify that this is trend because we keep coming back to this line and never going back to the bottom line again. So we've came up, and we're back at the neutral line now. You can back test this every time that we've had a big drop. We lost the neutral line. We just went slightly under it and then back up. And then once we break through it again, we're off to the races to a new all-time high. So this is
that sounds good, Mike. While you're talking, I have some late breaking news that I have to go tweet because it's my job. But VDEX has just crossed 500 million in volume.
Boom.
So we're halfway to 1 billion. So I'm listening, keep charting, but I gotta tweet this shit. This is a big deal.
Absolutely. So yeah, so Bitcoin RSI has been coming back to the neutral line. We're back there right now. And we may continue our slide to the downside. It's kind of where I'm going with this. I think the stochastic here is going to come. We're already below the line here, so we're going to continue to go down here. Do something like we've seen before here. Let me see. So the stochastic R size right here, you'll see this line right here. We can come all the way below it, and which we are doing right now. So I'm looking at this rising wedge. This has been my pattern. I think if this breaks to the downside, we could even possibly say the bear market over. This is
the bear market's over,
or the bull market's over. Sorry, the this rising wedge is a reversal pattern. It's not a bullish pattern. It's a bearish pattern. They usually break to the downside. So what I'm seeing here is
I'm not loving anything I'm hearing. I just want to tell you that.
I'm going to go through multiple scenarios, and I'm starting with this one. But we can eat the bottom of this channel is about 102,000, so we can definitely come and tag it again. I've also noticed another trend that every time on the weekly chart, when we have big drops, we come down to this purple line, which is, I believe, the 50-day moving average. Or sorry, no, the 100-day moving average. I think I have it wrong. I'm pretty sure this is the 50-day, 100-day, 200-day. Sorry. This is the 50-day, 200-day moving average, or 50-day moving average. My God, I can't speak today. So every time we have big pullbacks, we come back to that moving average. But when we had an all-time high in March of 2024, when we consolidated down all those months later, we came back to the 50-day moving average. And then we had a new all-time high, double top, and then we came back at 107, I believe that was, back in December 2024. We came back to that line. We're at that line now. So bullish case we're going to bounce here and make a higher low. So that huge liquidation event we had, went down to 101. We went up, we went back up, we had another red candle, we came down to 103.5, and now we're here at 108 again. Are we going to come back to the bottom of this channel and hit 103.5 again, like a higher low? Are we going to break down?
103?
Very possible.
Stop saying these numbers.
My trading group is calling for 97 right now.
Oh God.
I know. So this is where I start to use the information that we back test, because I'm giving you guys my mental process, how I come to these. So I saw the trend, saw the moving average that it likes to keep touching, and as you can see, it can wick below it. Now it can lose it and wick below it and come back up. So just keep that in mind. That's a big possibility. It could wick below it, which could even bring you down to that 97 level, right? Like around there. So that's it could be in the cards. I look at the RSI and I say, okay, when we have big dips, we do lose that neutral line. We do lose it a little bit, and we don't go back to the bottom. So that if it goes back to the bottom, I'm going to start to get a little quite worried. But if we if we just lose a little bit, okay, that's not doing anything different than it hasn't done before. It's still following the trend, right? We really want to see a reversal, a bounce off it. That would be nice. That's kind of what we're all hoping for. That we just kind of bounce in this channel. But we have
understatement of the show.
But I want people to be prepared for the negative. You can't just not talk about it because it's uncomfortable, because you have to be prepared for it. Especially if you're holding this coin or altcoins, because whatever Bitcoin does, the altcoins are going to, and the altcoins will do worse. So we look at this line. So the bullish case, we want this to bounce. We want this to, finally find the bottom and then reverse trend back up, and off we go to the top of the channel, which would be upwards of 135,000. We could just, like I've said this before, we could just continue bouncing in this range all the way up to 150, and then it could break out. If we break out super bullish at 280,000, would be possible. But again, we're running out of time. If we're under the assumption that the bull market's going to end this year, just like in every other cycle by December, then you don't really have a lot of time. You got 2 months, 2.5 months left.
Yeah,
this bull run, right?
That's what I actually heard from a smart friend who I trust in the space. Is like November, December, we're done.
Absolutely. But like it could go crazy. It could easily rip all the way 150 and higher if we're going to have a blow off top. That's very possible. Look at gold. Gold had, remember I talked about the banana zone before? I'll show you right now.
I don't remember.
So we talked about the banana zone because the chart goes parabolic. It starts to look like a banana, like a banana, and you can see here that we have a banana.
Yeah.
Right. So this is gold right now, and you can trade this on Vita.
Short it right now. Not financial advice.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm actively looking for a short.
Yeah.
You should be on this.
This
is my terrible.
I don't.
Terrible banana drawing. That looks like a chili pepper, but but it's
that's not what I was gonna say. I'll let you have that though.
So that's what gold did, and what's to say Bitcoin can't do the exact same thing, right? If we look at Bitcoin, we haven't really blasted off yet. We could start making that banana.
Yeah. It doesn't look like any of the previous kind of like rips, it's been
this bull market has been just up and to the right, but look at 2021. 2021 had the record.
2021 was an escalator. This year is stairs.
I believe we had the most green monthly candles or week. No, I think it was monthly candles. Let me go back to the monthly one. I'm pretty sure in 2021 we had the most monthly candles in a row that we've ever had. Yeah, see, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green monthly candles in a row. I remember living through this in 2021. I was like, wow, that's crazy. And it does. I have never felt euphoria. I don't know if you have. We had a little bit of it back in November, the end of 2024. We had altcoins kind of ripping. Everything was feeling pretty good. Every trade was winning. But since then, we haven't really had euphoria. We've had all-time highs in Bitcoin, but not really crazy moves. It feels like every time we have momentum, it just gets shoved right back down. It almost feels like it's very carefully controlled.
Oh, does it?
Right? So
there's a conspiracy theory of you, Mike.
Absolutely. So this is what I'm looking at. I'm also looking at the potential for an M pattern, which will bring you down McDonald's behind. That's very possible too, which would bring you probably back to 71,000, which is testing this line right here at the top of that consolidation, which would be again the M pattern. So 72,000 would potentially be the downside if we do have an M pattern. So I'm watching that very, very carefully. Not to say that this is going to happen. It's a possibility. Understand that there's multiple possibilities, multiple realities that happen, but we need to be prepared for the worst and hope for the best. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm just waiting for Bitcoin to bounce, and what I'm going to be watching like a hawk is tether dominance. Every time I make a trade, I think
a million tether got USD. Oh, that's not USD. Yeah, it is USDT. They printed like 1 billion or 1 million of them today. They minted them.
I believe we're gonna have a tsunami crypto. I don't think we're over. This is my personal opinion. Not financial advice. I don't believe we're over because it doesn't line up with what's happening in the tsunami money that's coming in soon.
Right.
Because the clarity bill is going to be right now. The government's paused. I really do think when the government comes back, this bearishness is going to disappear. I think the market's just kind of going we don't know what to do. So you got the bulls and the bears fighting. Nobody really knows what to do, and you need more liquidity to come in. So when the clarity bill comes in, and people and institutions can have an idea how they're going to do it, crypto, that's I think going to be injection of liquidity. And if you look, we have a 99% chance that they're going to cut rates in October. And I looked at December, and it's a 98 or 89% chance that we're going to cut in December as well. So we're going to have 2 rate cuts between October. I think there's a break in. I don't think there's a rate cut in November, and there's one in December. So you're going to have rate cuts, into the end of the year. So it makes no sense to me that when you have rate cuts, that you're going to have a bear market, right? That tells me that you're gonna have a really nice end to the year. And the Q4 has always been good, even in 2024, which was just the halving year, wasn't even the post-halving year. We had a great end of year. November, December was amazing, until we had that big pullback. But we had a really, really good end of Q4 in 2024. So you want to look at tether dominance, see where it's going. So I think if we continue up, we could get rejected by that 200-day moving average, just like we did here. I was talking about this weeks ago.
I don't want to hear that, Mike.
But it's fine.
And I know I could just short, right? I'm like, why you always tell me you can make, but I'm like a perma bull, which is why
absolutely
I'm such a horrible trader.
And that's why if you are bullish bias, and I am too. I honestly am too. When I trade, I have a bullish bias. So what you do is you go to Trading View, go press Alt I, which will flip the chart upside down. And then you can just trade it just like you normally would. Bull market. Forget about yeah. So if you believe this pattern, now this pattern looks a little more bullish. Looks like a W pattern now, right? So now
that's a hot tip. I'm gonna clip this.
So now you see a double bottom and it possibly move to the upside, up to probably target up to the 2-day moving average here.
Okay, well that makes
that is how you help your, because it's hard. Some people can't flip. Most people are either bearishly biased or bullishly biased, and this actually helps a lot when you just flip the chart upside down. And that's
but I just got to be right once, Mike. If I'm a directional trader and I just always go one direction and I'm always retarded, excuse me for using that word. I think it's legal these days.
We're streaming on X.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I think intention matters, and I just think words are meaningless anyways. They mean what we want them to mean. Okay, now I'm in a hole explaining myself. I forgot what I was going to say. So you're welcome, and have a good night. We're going to wrap up the show on that note.
But so that's my bearish scenario, that we have an M pattern, that we continue down to the downside. I still think we could lose. Again, I do think we have more downside coming.
Possibly.
But like again, down probably here, like at a higher low. This is the weekly chart, so we'll have to see where this weekly candle ends. We still got 4 days before. Keep your eye on. I'm not getting into any trades right now. I haven't been leverage trading in a while, because I like to trade when I feel I have an edge, and I don't feel like I have an edge right now because the market is so choppy that even if I'm right in the trade, I believe I'm going to get chopped out. And still the trade will still be the direction I initially said, but they're just playing games right now. So I want to trade leverage when the market is a little bit on my side. Everyone's feeling a little bit better. We're kind of out of the woods.
Stability plus.
We have a clear bottom, some confirmation of good patterns. That's what I'm going to get into leverage. Now, I've been spot trading like a fiend. Well, every time we've had big dips, I've been buying every single dip.
Yeah.
And I'm getting ready for my next big swing trade. And that's going to be like a lot of money. That's probably like $1,000. We get back up to just the previous all-time high. That can be like 10 grand for me. That's where I make most of my money. There's no liquidations. There's no, stop losses. Like there's a lot less stress that way. I am more of a long-term, like this is how my brain works. So I do the trades. I think you should have a leverage trading portfolio, a spot trading portfolio, and then just like a long-term hold portfolio. I think that's the best way to manage all your baskets. And then you're also managing your mental state by not all being in leverage and like, oh fuck, I lost a leverage trade, but cool, I got my spot trade. We'll just hold it. It'll, I believe we're gonna go to an all-time high. Just a matter of when, and then I'll get out of the woods. Never technically lose until you sell on a spot trade, right?
I've held a lot of things way too long.
Same here. Same, like even with my trades, I'll hold my trades too long.
Every time.
So this is what I'm looking for tether dominance. We're gonna see if this continues to the upside. The stochastic is peaking out here, but the stochastic can still move. The RSI has a lot, but it's kind of going sideways. So we'll have to see. Let's look at the smaller time frames. This is kind of what I want. Every time you want to get into a trade for Bitcoin or altcoins are a little bit more complicated. Just gotta look at Bitcoin dominance too. But when you want to get into like a Bitcoin trade, you want to look at tether dominance before. Like you look at your trade, say, hey, I think this pattern's going to go to the upside. Go to tether dominance and see if it's portraying the same thing. If I believe, for example, tether or Bitcoin's going to go up, I'm betting on this pattern going to the upside. I'll look at tether dominance. Does tether dominance look like it's forming a pattern that's downside? That's what you want to look at, because now you have confluence. Because if you see Tether dominance telling you one thing in Bitcoin, then you're more likely to lose that trade. But if Tether dominance looks like it's going to go down and Bitcoin price looks like it's going to go up, then I'm more likely to win the trade because the trend is my side.
Yeah, it's like a double confirmation.
Absolutely. So what I had here this morning, I put like a cup and handle for the dominance I think I had on the one. And then we had some crazy volatility. Bitcoin pumped up like crazy, like whoop, like it was insane.
There was another like billions of dollars of liquidations. It's like, didn't we just have a mass liquidation? Like they are really flushing.
So I think I'm still going to be correct here, where the cup and handle will break up to about 5.18%. Okay. But I think they're playing some weird games. Look at this V-shape recovery right here. So we lost the 1 hour, 200-day moving average, right back above it, right back above the 21-day moving average. So remember, I've told you guys many, many times before, when the 21-day moving average and the 200-day moving average touch, and this gets the white line moves above the blue line here. Really, really good for a move to the upside. As you can see, we had a huge candle. As soon as that happened, you had a candle to the upside for Tether dominance. So I still think we're going to make our way back up to this target. I like that. There's still more room to the downside. Bitcoin, we need this to start topping out. Tether dominance needs to clearly make a top before we can see Bitcoin go up. Now, Bitcoin dominance is going to go up because we're having a full market correction.
Yeah.
Low, have a lower high, higher low, and now a higher high, right? And now we're gonna make a higher low right now. So
yeah, this looks juicy. Let's go.
So Bitcoin dominance is on an uptrend, which is good. So that tells me altcoins. I honestly, altcoins are going to be very, very risky.
Let's not even look at the AVAX chart today, Mike.
No, honestly, it doesn't make any sense until Bitcoin has an actual bottom. You can't be safe in Bitcoin, especially when Bitcoin dominance is climbing. Like altcoins are just going to bleed against Bitcoin. Like if you're going to trade anything, 100%. Just trade Bitcoin. So I would. Bitcoin dominance is going up again. We're above the 200-day moving average again. So like it tells me that the trend is going to continue. The same thing. Let's go to 4 hour here again. 4 hour. We're well above the 200. We still need to continue up. Now this could break down. I'm looking at this right now. We could have something this like a bearish pattern, came into it from a downtrend.
Oh yeah.
Bounce around this channel here.
What is this channel called again?
So this is called a bearish rectangle.
Bearish rectangle.
So a bearish rectangle, rising wedge, like rising wedge, ignore. But yeah, I'll just include it in. It doesn't really. So this ultimately could rise up until we peak out and then roll over. That will lose the 200-day moving average on 4 hour, which is a to lose. And then target back it down at 58%. So, and you can even head and shoulder.
God, you're such a bear tonight, Mike.
No, this is Bitcoin dominance. This is good.
Okay,
if you want altcoin,
sorry.
I
forgot what chart we were on. I was like, I can't handle this, man.
No, if Bitcoin dominance is going to go down, that's good for altcoins.
Yes. Okay. Good. Let's go.
So, that's what I'm looking at for there, and then Bitcoin on the 4 hour. Again, I still see. Are we coming? We came to the downside. Is this a bear flag here? We have to wait and see. We got rejected, unfortunately, today. We had a nice pump up. So whoever was trading Bitcoin, I called a couple.
I thought we were back.
I called the head and shoulders today. I was waiting for the right shoulder to. I think I posted in the VDEX group chat. I was waiting for the shoulder to be created. It didn't happen. We had this huge pump. So I'll show you what I was looking. I think. Yeah. Okay. So what I had here is I had a potential head, shoulders, right? But I was waiting for this shoulder to finish creating like this, and then we would have had a move to the downside, right? We would have taken this move. What you do is you take the neckline, with a head and shoulders, you measure like this. You'd have taken the neckline, and I would have shorted it down here. I was looking for a short, but we had this. Like this was unexpected. Nobody saw this coming.
Everyone was like just like posting screenshots of their P&Ls. Like, I'm so bad. And then I was on a meeting and I came off a meeting and it was like mass hysteria. What happened?
And I'm like, okay, we're back. We're out of the woods. Everything felt good again. And then instantly back. So we did come back to this neckline. So we did, if you can see, we are respecting this little trend here. Keep your eye on that. It looks like we're bouncing off it. But yeah, so I saw the candles were kind of rounding for me, which is a shoulder, right? So I'm like, oh man, okay. So I was waiting for the shoulder to be created. This is why we forecast our trades beforehand, and then we wait. We don't front run it. The old me would have got in on this candle because I was right here. I was like,
I'm still the old you, Mike.
I would have gone in on this candle and shorted it here, expecting us to come down here. So I would have got profit here, and then I don't need to wait for it to go all the way here. So, but I'm like, you know what? Let me wait for confirmation. So the idea of this head and shoulders, the trade properly, risk managed, wait for the shoulder to be created. You would make this neckline here, and you would wait for it to break the neckline, and potentially even if you want like super safe, you would wait for it to come down, retest neckline, and then you would put your short in and you would write it down. That's how makes sense. That's what you would do for head and shoulder. But it didn't happen. We pumped up and we totally negated that head and shoulders. And I also posted after the case on Twitter. I said, no, this didn't look right. This is why we wait for confirmation. We got forecast our trades beforehand because the old me would have got wrecked. And now we're bouncing off this. So we're hoping here that we just bounce off this and we continue on this uptrend up until the moving average needs. Right, so this 21-day moving average probably needs to come back, kind of curve back up again, which is will reset the stochastic, which we can even see the RSI curving back up. So just more time. It kind of sucks. Like I'm taking Bitcoin right now, guys, day by day. Like it's just one moving average at a time. Once we slowly start getting key levels, unfortunately, we're above the 200-day moving average on the hourly, which is feeling nice. I lost it. So until we get above the 200-day moving average again on the hourly, I'm not overly bullish. The 4-hour again, we're still below the 4-hour 200 moving average, so it's really hard to be bullish until we start to get above these keys again. So we're probably going to get chopped out until we get above those levels, and it just takes time. It takes time for these down. It takes time for, as you can see here, like just look, every time you have big pumps, it takes time to come down and the moving averages to go and then get tight again and then pump up again. It might take the rest of this month. It might have 2 weeks of recovery, like slow sideways recovery until we pump up to the upside and start to gear ourselves up. The last move potentially, right?
Yeah.
November, December, like
what are we gonna do after that?
This is what I always say. Like everybody said October. I've developed this mindset. Like when everybody's saying something, I start to get really nervous because
that's fair.
This market will when everybody is in consensus. So and it's happened time and time again. That's kind of your top signal. But
that's probably what they did. I think I was telling you the story. Like, remember when Wall Street Bets, the citadels of the world started like reading sentiment off Reddit and then like doing the opposite of whatever, like wrecking people. Like it is like until there's a way.
And that's what this chop is. This chop is just getting everybody, both sides. Sides. When like, for example, up here, people are thinking, oh shit, go long, we're back, and then you right back down and would liquidate people.
Crime candles, if you will.
Like literally, we went up today and came back to basically where we started today. So that's.
I guess it's not so bad if you just held all day. Like if you're just a holder.
Honestly, if you're a spot trader, you should be looking at buying Bitcoin down this low. Looking at actually when a coin market cap and see if you can find the fear. Like that.
Sorry, I love it. I just love it, Mike. I gotta go in like 2 minutes. By the way, I gotta meet Jose. So.
Honestly, we've kind of gone through it. So buying fear and greed index of 29 has pretty much always been. It's a good time to buy Bitcoin.
Okay.
When fear and greed are this low. Again, not financial advice. My personal opinion, I do not believe this bull market is over. So buying, Bitcoin, like, and to be honest, if I'm wrong, I'm okay to be wrong in Bitcoin. I don't feel bad about, buying Bitcoin and having the maybe round trips, because I know Bitcoin in the future, in 4 or 5 years, 10 years, is going to be much higher than it is, much higher. Like, think about it, 10 years ago.
So this is all irrelevant.
Yeah. Well, think about 10 years ago.
It's entertainment along the way.
Like, how much was Bitcoin 10 years ago? Probably like $100, $1,000.
Yeah.
And it's went up to 120,000. What's another 10 years? Right?
Yeah.
500,000? 500,000 to be safe.
Computers hack everyone's wallets, Mike. What then?
Because as computers get more advanced, so the miners. Compute power, the miners will also. True. Therefore, if you have quantum computers and quantum chips, and ASICs have they're quantum resistant, and then you can always change. Absolutely, and then you have, what I do think is you're going to start to see a migration from legacy wallets over to the new style wallets that have protection. That's why you might. This is the conspiracy theory hat on. I'll give you guys with this. The whole worry is that Satoshi's wallet is a legacy wallet, and when we have quantum, if he is no longer here and no longer using his wallet, then it's open to hacks, right? And he has like a little Bitcoin or crazy amount.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the worry, that potentially with quantum computes they can hack Satoshi's legacy wallet. So does he come back and just move the coins?
The world is just like a big stage of wild, exciting stuff that happened. Like you couldn't write this in a movie, like enjoy the show. Don't take yourself so serioally.
Life's a journey.
Sorry for my rant, but I just love that.
It's honestly, I've changed the way I think about it too. Like life is like a roller coaster. Life's a journey. It's just enjoy the ride. Enjoy the small things. Don't just get caught up in whatever you're doing and like
chasing the next thing, because there's always the next thing.
The season of life, like I'm gonna be 40 in 3 years. Like my life is changing. My daughter's growing up so fast. Like just enjoy, and you call it's funny. You call it eras. Everyone's calling it eras now. It's like my ever era, right?
Yeah.
And for me, like replaced era with season, same thing in my eyes.
Yeah,
you're right, guys. Sure. I don't think this is over. I think we're gonna have. I really do think like 150 to 180, very possible run, and I'm not selling till at least on like 135, 140.
Very cool.
And I'll go down with that chip. But guys, thank you so much for watching. It's been a great show. I just love talking crypto. It's just fun. I love going in the charts. I'll be streaming tomorrow 9 p.m. We're gonna be more of this, the charts. We'll see. Have we bounced off this bottom trend line? Are we gonna make a new all-time? Are we gonna come back to tomorrow? So let's take a look at that tomorrow 9 p.m.
Plot thickens.
And then we're gonna play some video games, because sometimes this market is just so stressful. I just need to have some video gaming. So we're gonna play some.
What are you gonna play?
Battlefield 6. Battlefield 6 has been awesome.
I do want to try it.
I love it. Love it.
We'll have fun. Everyone have a good night. This was a good one. Thank you, Michael, if you're probably out having the time of your life, but of course for coming to the show and sharing your wisdom. And if you're not following him, and obviously Metamask Consensus, he's one of the good ones in the space that has been here watching out for people's back since the beginning of crypto time. So those are the people that you want to support, not we won't name names, but you know.
All right, everybody, thanks for coming by, and we'll see you next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Take care.
Thanks a lot.